there was a proposal for an additional investment of $70 million over the next 3 years, and this will create an additional $5,000 paid internships. So through that funding, there's 3 different programs. The first one is SkillsLink, and SkillsLink is a program that is designed to help youth facing barriers get opportunities for employment. So these could be single parents, youth with disabilities, high school dropouts, and most certainly recent immigrants as well. And the funding that's used under SkillsLink can be used to enable recent immigrant youth, for example, to gain work experience, which would include mentorship, coaching, or support. Under Career Focus, which I'm going to speak more about today, it gives funding for employers and organizations to give a post-secondary graduate work experience in their field of study. And Canada's Summer Jobs has been around a long time. Many of you may have heard of it. It, of course, provides funding for employers or organizations to give a post-secondary student summer work experience. And for those of you who are looking to apply for that, we've changed, this year for the first time, we've changed the application period. And it opens on December 2nd and closes on January 10th. In previous years, it opened in February. And this year, we're backing it up. The application process is earlier to allow employers to hire students sooner for next summer. So applications for the SkillsLink as well as the Career Focus are accepted on an ongoing basis. So Career Focus is, the aim of the program is to really to increase the supply of highly qualified workers and to promote the benefits of advanced study. So the program provides funding for employers to create career-related work experience for post-secondary graduates. And part of the application or the project activities that will be supported under Career Focus is really related to work experience specifically. And it is restricted to post-secondary graduates, and the activity should really be tailored to meet the skills gap of a young person. There recently, or last year, there was a local company that received funding in Lindsay called the Gaming Nature Center, and they received $45,000 to hire youth to work in ecosystem management. So I don't know the details of their project, but just as an example, they would need to hire somebody who has a post-secondary graduate in that, or post-secondary degree in that field in order to fill that gap between give that post-secondary student skills experience in their field. So eligible participants must be between the ages of 15 and 30 at the time of their intake or selection. I mentioned post-secondary graduates, which include universities, colleges, CEGEPs, and post-secondary schools of technology. That could be private or public. They may have to be Canadian citizens, permanent residents, or persons who have been granted refugee status in Canada, legally entitled to work in Canada, evidently, and not receiving EI benefits. The maximum funding per participant is $28,000, up to $20,000, and the financial assistance is generally to pay for the student's wages, and the agreement can last up to 3 years in duration, but normally most agreements last between 6 months to 1 year. So when you're applying for funding, we would look at what the normal pay is for that particular occupation. So, if you're hiring someone to provide, articling work for a law firm, for example, the employer would have to pay with the going wages to that particular student that they're hiring. So they wouldn't say, well, I'm going to pay you $5 an hour and I'll keep you for a year under that. So we look at what wage they're offering as well. So who can receive funding? It's pretty much anybody, businesses, organizations, including not-for-profit, public health institutions, educational institutions, band, tribal councils, and municipal governments. So I think that pretty much covers everybody except for federal governments that can't apply for it. And it's important to note that for employers are required to provide some sort of some part of donation, so some kind of financial donation. And generally what the employer would normally make a cash contribution by paying the mandatory related employment costs such as the Canada Pension Plan, employment insurance deductions. When it's a not-for-profit organization, they're only required to provide in-kind support. So that could be donated equipment, services, facilities, etc.